Hello friends, this is Dr. Antoine, your coach in data analysis using R2. Today I'm going to show you how you can perform mediation analysis in R. Mediation analysis was introduced by Barron and Kenny in 1986. Mediation analysis has the purpose of analyzing how independent variable has impact on a dependent variable via the fed variable called mediator variable. This is the objective of mediation analysis. Analyzing indirect effect, Barron and Kenny defined the procedure to follow. The first analysis is to see whether independent variable and dependent variable are related. The second analysis is to see or to evaluate whether independent variable and the mediator variable are also related. Third, mediator variable and dependent variable must be related once the effect of independent variable is controlled. Another step is to evaluate whether or not the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable is significantly reduced when controlling for the effect of mediator variable. Those procedures are followed when you are analyzing mediation analysis, and the comment you make, or when you are discussing your results, you interpret your results based on this procedure as those authors, Barron and Kenny, proposed the procedure to be followed. There are many, when you are performing mediation analysis, you can follow this figure. The first relation is this one. The first relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. I use the variable here in this presentation: foreign direct investment and the GDP, gross domestic product. These are the variables that I'm going to use. Independent variable and the mediator variable must be related. This is the second step. The first step is this one. The relationship between FDI and the GDP must be significant. That means the coefficient of regression must be different from 0. The second procedure is that FDI as independent variable must be related to this mediator. This means the coefficient of regression is different from 0. The third step is that the mediator variable, as we will use exports, must be related to the independent variable GDP. Now they say that when you are controlling for the effect of mediator variable, this relation between FDI and the GDP will be reduced. That means when you regress FDI plus mediator variable on GDP, this means the coefficient of this FDI will be significantly reduced. That means it will be less than the coefficient you got when you regress FDI or GDP. That's what this step means. This step. Okay, and now when you are interpreting based on Barron also, when you are at this step, this one, when you conduct this step, the last step, coefficient of independent variable is not significant, but the coefficient of mediator is significant. That means there is full mediation. However, also in this step, when independent variable is still significant and also the mediator variable is significant, that means there is, when you use, for instance, mediation package, you will not find all those coefficients. It will not be the same as using process R package. There is another way of finding whether the mediation is partial or full mediation or low mediation or indirect impact. When the sum of the mediation in causal analysis, the variance accounted for that shows the share of indirect effect in total effect is used. If the variance accounted for is less than 20%, the indirect effect is not significant, therefore there is no mediation. Second, if the variance accounted for is between 20 and 80%, there is partial mediation. We will see all of this interpretation when we will be practicing in R2. Finally, when variance accounted for is value is greater than 80%, this implies that there is a full mediation according to these authors. And another thing that you have to know, when you want to conduct mediation, you must have a theory you are testing or which shows what you are doing or gives you support of what you are doing. You cannot do mediation without any previous study or theory. That's the only area for any study. When you are conducting, maybe you have theories. When you have theories or have previous studies which support what you are saying. Based on that, for instance, in this example, Mami and Martin indicated that the direct effect of FDI on GDP is small when FDI is considered in isolation, but indirect effect is more significant than direct effect. Based on this statement, I can try to find whether what was said is correct or not. I can use mediation because now you see here, this author talk about direct effect and indirect effect here. Direct effect and indirect effect. I can test this. I can conduct a study to test to check whether this declaration is correct or not. There are other authors also, Kazi and Smini, based on endogenous Bluetooth models, indicated that the impact of FDI may be more significant because of the presence of indirect effects which are capable to potentially affect all variables included in the production function. This is also another way of supporting mediation analysis or indirect effect analysis, because now you see there are some authors that affirm that indirect effect of FDI is less significant than indirect effect. I can just test this. Or I choose export as mediator variable because I consider this saying statement of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This was said by this organization. They said that FDI triggers technology favors assist human capital formation, contributes to international trade integration, helps improve in environmental and social conditions, helps create a more competitive business environment, leading to more socially responsible cooperation policies and enhances enterprise development. In addition these contribute to higher economic growth, which is the most important tool for alleviating poverty in developing countries. Now you see, now I have some basics. I have some prior studies which support the use of mediation to analyze the extent to which FDI has indirect effects.